Hi, thanks for meeting with me today so we can plan instruction for our small group. I've reviewed the students' profiles and I like to walk you through a framework we can use. An activity to target higher order thinking, strategies and accommodations, adjustments for online or hybrid settings, and a couple of technologies that will support our work. First, I want to start with the framework and model selection. For this group, I recommend using the Universal Design for Learning, or the UDL for short. UDL is ideal because it helps us design lessons that practically support diverse learners, um, students with intellectual disabilities, dyslexia, behavioral needs, and varying academic need levels. It encourages multiple means of engagement, representation, and expression, which is exactly what this group needs because UDL reduces barriers and increases access from the start, and it helps us avoid constantly modifying lessons after the fact. The next one is that I want to touch base on is higher order thinking activity. The activity I like to use us to try is a science based problem solving task connected to their current unit. For example, designing a model habitat that could support a specific animal and explain why each feature is necessary. We can have students work in pairs and use manipulatives, pictures, and sentence frames to justify their choices. This task encourages higher order thinking, specifically analysis and evaluation, because students must explain relationships between living things and their environments. This activity can be scaled for each of our learners. For example, Ryan can match pictures of habitat features and verbally share simple reasons. Siobhan and Zachjilt can write or verbally explain using sentence frames. Russell, who is working on emotional regulation, can take leadership role in organizing materials, which supports his strengths. Next thing I want to touch upon is strategies and accommodations. For the first strategy I was thinking about is chunking and step-by-step visual supports. We'll break this into clear steps with visual icons. Example is choose animal, pick habitat parts, explain why. The justification for this is that students like Ryan and Siobhan benefit from reduced cognitive load, and visual scaffolding is strongly supported and in UDL research for increasing comprehension. The next strategy is flexible options for demonstrating understanding. Students can express their ideas by drawing, verbally explaining, building manipulatives, or just using a simple recording tool. The justification for this is that UDL emphasizes multiple means of action and expression. This accommodation directly supports Chilt's dyslexia and helps Russell's avoid frustration that occurs with traditional worksheets. Next is adjusting for online, hybrid, or multi-age settings. If we move this activity online or into a hybrid or multi-age classroom, a few adjustments will help. For framework modifications, the UDL stays the same, but we rely more heavily on digital supports, interactive slides, audio directions, and recorded exemplars. For the activities, instead of building physical models, students could create digital habitat collages and use drag and drop tools. For strategies, we can use visual chunkings that would be embedded into the platforms. And flexible expression might include short video or audio submissions. For accommodations, for a multi-age classroom with tier or the complexity, older students justify with more detailed scientific reasoning, while younger or lower level students focus on identifying basic needs of the animal. These adjustments maintain access while respecting the developmental needs and levels of the context. Next, technologies to support the group. We can use Google, Jamboard, or Canva whiteboard. The digital whiteboard allows students to drag images, collaborate in real time. This is great for visual learners like Ryan, and supports structured creativity for all students. It also reduces writing demands, which helps X and CO bond. The second tool that I was thinking about was Flip. Students can record short videos explaining their habitat models, which provides a low pressure way for Russell example to communicate without frustration. Supports expressive language goals for Ryan and gives us a rich insight into students' reasoning. Those are the key components of the lesson and the UDL-based supports for our small group. I'm excited to implement this together, and I think the structure will help every student engage meaningfully and successfully.